Welcome to another Star Citizen 3.0 video. This one we're going to be in the constellation Andromeda. We're going to do a bit more discussion of a couple bugs, talk a little bit about cargo again, and again, more exploration stuff, so kind of continuing the last batch video. Now, I apologize for some of the weird staticky fuzz. I don't know what happened, but at random times through this play session, I didn't notice it until after the fact in the recording, but I had some weird audio bug. I went back in earlier and tested a recording, and it was gone, so I don't know what happened or what was causing it, but it was just weird popping, so I apologize for the audio in the game this time. Now, the Constellation has a very big cargo bay that can contain 96 units of cargo. I think the Freelancer is, I want to say 20 to 40. Honestly, don't know off the top of my head, but it's about half, a little more than half of the Constellation's, a little less than half, I should say. Now, I also need to correct myself. In the last video, I thought I was going out to Daymar, but I was out at Seon, and that's where the hydroponics facility was. This time, I'm actually out at Daymar, and Daymar has some other fun things to do on it, and instead of just going to a few things, I wanted to go out and look at a mining facility. So when I got into orbit, I found the mining facility and decided to head there. Because it was on the other side of the planet, I went past Daymar and then came back to it. That way I didn't have to fly around the planet so much, and there wasn't an orbital marker at the right position. So I came in pitch darkness and started flying my approach. I'd come in from the direction I'm flying towards now, flown around it because I wanted to see if anybody was down on the surface that I would have to contend with. As I've run into some folks who did take some pot shots at me at the hydroponics facility in my Freelancer, and because of the way I landed my vessel, it's the only reason I managed to save the ship and my cargo. So I'm just going to let this approach go for a moment, and then I get close enough, I pick my landing site. Now I picked the biggest pad, I don't know why. That's for starfarers and caterpillars and other massive craft that I didn't need to land on it. Now in 2.5 and 2.4, they had a great landing radar system that it would flip to automatically when you put your gear down, and it would show you available landing pads that you were near, and you could align your ship very easily to the pad just through the radar. Well, they don't have that in this, and so I'm trying to do it with the mouse and the keyboard externally from this view. Just aesthetics. I don't like landing crooked and sideways on the pad. Whatever, call me OCD. So I get lined up and I start my descent, and then I notice, oh, wait a minute, the sun's actually rising. Okay, this is awesome. This looks like a scene out of the Chronicles of Riddick almost, the mountains with the sun that burns on it. So I'm just going to land and let this play out for a minute. So the sun glistening off the top of my engines as the sun rises, the shadows changing, and the whole planet getting lighter, space fading away as the sunlight hits it. Now the atmosphere is not very thick here, so you'll still see through some of it, but got Crusader up there shining down on us. Just beautiful. The exploration aspect of this is what really appealed to me in the first place back right when the Kickstarter finished, and why I bought into the game. Now, I mentioned a moment ago the way I land my ships. I land and then I keep my engines on, so at least out here in the open, that leaves my shields up. That way if somebody does decide to show up and kind of be a troll or a jerk, or a pirate I guess, I will have a little bit of defense on my ship. Now what happened to me previously was I landed at the hydroponics facility in my Freelancer, left my shields on. I came out after filling with cargo, dead night, and I saw the silhouette of a saber kind of pivoting around my ship in the area. So I pretended like I didn't see it, went and got my ship, and it started taking some pot shots at me. So I booked it, and my ship took quite a bit of damage, but I managed to get out of there because the shields were already up and running. It protected me while I ran through the ship, got in the seat, and then took off. So that's why I land with the engines on, or the ship's power still on. Now this is a mining facility. There's multiple buildings, multiple pads, so it's supposed to be pretty busy, and at some point I'm sure it will be with more NPCs walking around, driving around, hopefully driving around. I think that'd be awesome, and then to have some other traffic coming and going. They did have an approach channel in the comms, but it didn't work. Alright, so these are some of the underground mining tubes that are hauling ore and other stuff up from the bottom. This is one of the bugs, or at least one of the things they haven't put in yet. There was no sound effects for it, and that kind of killed the ambiance a little bit. Now maybe there are, and my game was bugged and I didn't hear it, but I think hearing a little whoop or something as it grinds and churns the crap out of the earth, or the planetoid, would be awesome to add. And then maybe some workers in here and some updates to the screens. But on the whole, this is the mining control center. So the buildings had labels. You could kind of figure out what they were for. This building's completely focused on the actual mining. So there's several control stations in these doors, where you can monitor the mining and the facilities of what's going on with each individual mining drill. So cool stuff. This is a ship spawning section, which I thought was awesome. Little waiting room for ships and stuff, and then you can spawn ground vehicles. This is bug number 2. I mentioned the other day that I'd tried to park my Dragonfly inside my Freelancer. It glitched out, had a ton of problems. Well, I came here hoping I could spawn my Dragonfly for giggles, because why not? Oh, apparently I no longer have a Dragonfly, and since the Aquila isn't the replacement for the Carrack at the moment, I don't have the Ursa Rover either. So while I came into the cargo, or the bartering and trading area, I noticed a ship had landed, so I quickly bought and I booked it. I ran as fast as I could. Now the mining facility was pretty cool. They had 4 different types of ore, diamond being the best, quartz, and a couple other minerals, and I actually made 3 total runs to and from this station. So the footage is kind of mixed between all 3 runs here. This one was my second run. My first run was the sunrise. My second run, which was this one, I met that guy. And then my third one, it was night again because I'd taken a bit of time before coming back out here, which was kind of fun. Most of the ore I was able to sell for a 50 to 60% profit over what I paid, which was phenomenal. Doubled my money immediately, and then some. I'm sorry, maybe 200% profit. Diamonds, however, is where it was really at, because with diamonds, I made probably double and another almost 100% on top of that. It was crazy the amount of money I was making off of diamonds. Now, taking off and leaving the area, again, also beautiful. Flying over the surface. Good view of the planet, the facility behind. Leaving at night was pretty cool as well. As was approaching, you could see all the stuff. Again, you can see the downward thrusters fighting to hold the ship in its position as I go. We fire up towards Crusader and kick in the afterburners. You have to get up and out of the atmosphere, and then you have to clear a path around the planet so that you can do your quantum travel. So again, there I am pulling up and out after I left a little while ago. The facility is back there on the top left of the screen. A lot of features on the surface. It's still just amazing that you can land anywhere you want, walk in and out of the ship, fly anywhere you want within the system, and do all of that. So the exploration factor is just awesome. Hauling cargo to these little areas, you can buy a lot. In my 3 runs, I completely cleaned them out of diamonds and some of the other minerals that they had available, so I emptied the station. There we go. Warp speed, Captain Scott. No, Scotty wasn't the captain, but they gave him a promotion near the end of the series, if I recall, or the end of the movie series. Back at Olazar. So a quick little jaunt. Again, this was the final run that I'd made. There's the landing and a designated pad, so it's a little easier to line yourself up, but if you go back to some of my older videos where I'm landing at Cryastro and my Hornet or something after damage, you can see how the pad appeared on the HUD instead of the local radar, and when that happened, it was so easy to line your ship up. It automatically converted to that when you put your gear down, and I wish they would go back to that. Quick view of the cargo hold. So every individual box represents a different type of cargo, and you can see the different colored boxes represent the different type of mineral that I have in them. It goes all the way up to the ceiling, even up between the missile pylons there. This was a smaller run because they ran out of stuff for me to buy. And then I got into Olazar, and the strut was, both terminals were being used, so you have to wait your turn. Thankfully I didn't have to wait too long. Oh, kind of good manners. Buy, sell, and then move on. I'm going to sell some of my minerals here. I'm going to make a nice handy profit, as you can see on some of them, and this wasn't even a full load of cargo. I was about 60% full, but definitely going to be doing a lot more cargo hauling. I haven't gone out to Levski yet. I haven't gone out to Hurston or any of the other planets, so I will definitely do some videos of those, and I need to get some of the control scheme fixed and figure out some of the issues with my Hornets before I try to do any real battle. And I'll try to get some multi-crew action going, or multi-ship action going. So hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed the series with 3.0. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.